No question about it. The city has had its challenges of the past year. Tyler Dietering, who is the co-founder of City Dining Club.
City Dining Club's Wing It Challenge has begun, but it's not too late to dig in.
Where's the tripod? Where's the tripod?
We don't need a lot of salad in this house.
No, we don't. That was such a dad joke without context.
No, I'm just saying I don't eat a lot of salad. What's up, City Dining Club? Lauren and I have a huge announcement to make. We are actually going to launch a podcast, and it's not just going to be us. We'll actually have a third surprise host that we'll have joining with us. That is a local chef himself, so it'll be very exciting. I hope you all enjoy this series that we put together. It'll launch probably every Sunday consistently, and we'll do it weekly, and it'll take place of what we were doing as our hometown highlight. We find this way we'll be able to share more content about the chefs and their stories. So, of course, we want our restaurants to promote themselves in their restaurant, but this is going to hopefully be a more of a deep dive into their personal lives. So you all can kind of find a love for our local chefs and our local restaurants. Our first business is AppyHour, of course. So I hope you all enjoy it. They are entrepreneurs taking a leap of faith. This is their full-time job. You'll get to hear their whole story. Please like, subscribe, rate, whatever we have to do to get this thing off the ground. We're going to have a lot of good guests up in the near future. So we'll have AppyHour. Our surprise host is going to be our second interview, and then we'll take it from there. And if you would like to be featured, feel free to reach out to Lauren or myself. Enjoy the podcast.
The idea first came to me when I was doing an internship abroad program in Madrid, Spain over the summer of my sophomore year of college. And I was on a scholarship, and after work one week, some coworkers decided to invite me out for beers, which I happily obliged. Went in, got a handful of pints, got the check back, and nearly had a heart attack because I saw that I was paying €8 per beer, which at the time was $12 US. And I'm thinking, like, if this is how it's going to be all summer, I'm going to be back at home, next week, hat in hand, without a penny in my pocket. So I'm thinking there's got to be a way for me to find food, drink, and event specials going on near me so I can extend my euros through the summer and continue to explore the city of Madrid. Following week, the same problem happened. And not only, this time, not only did I realize it was a problem for me who was trying to, extend my euros, but it was a problem for these bars and restaurants. As I was walking back to my apartment where I was staying, I saw a bunch of places that I'd never even heard of with their table tents outside or their sidewalk chalkboards. They were handing out flyers, and they were literally grabbing my arm and trying to pull me into these amazing specials and offers that they had going on that I didn't know about. So I figured, if I could connect these bars and restaurants to actively seeking consumers nearby, it would be a great solution to both sides of that problem. And so we launched version 1.0 about a year after that, and haven't looked back since. And so, now we're in the Twin Cities, Iowa City, and Louisville.
And then you brought in this guy, Mitch.
Yeah.
Fill us in on that.
Yeah. So I kind of had the same realization Neil had. I mean, I had just turned 21 in college, and me and my buddies started going out, and I was really into craft beer at the time. I was home brewing at home, so I'd go out and try to find good craft beers out there. And same realization, I realized that if I wanted to do this 2, maybe 3 times a week, that I was going to go broke throughout college. So first thing I did, I went home and I Googled happy hours near me, and I found like 4-year-old articles. I found randomly generated Yelp lists because people just mentioned happy hour in the comments. So I got my hands on some SEO tools and realized that, okay, there's 400,000 people a month looking for this too in the US. Like, I'm not the only one. So it's something that's been in my idea journal since then in college. And I graduated from college and kind of went into the corporate world for a bit and got completely burnt out. I was an accounting major, so I got into the revenue side of things, and just running spreadsheets all day definitely is super easy for me, but extremely boring and not very rewarding. So, right before 2020, back in like December of 2019, I started revisiting my idea journal and to see which ones really stuck with me. And the idea of an events happy hour specials app was the one that stood out as, okay, there's a huge market opportunity for this here, especially in my hometown of Louisville. This needs to exist. So I started doing some market research to see what else was out there. I found a few small time apps, but I found one that was doing it exactly like I would have, which was AppyHour. I mean, There's a few other apps out there that do coupon-based things. There's a few that that try to do something similar to us, but then you see Subway and Jimmy John's on there too, which on AppyHour, you only see local spots. You won't even see an Applebee's or Chili's on there. So, so yeah, I randomly called the number at the bottom of AppyHour's website. I was like, hey, you know, what's going on with AppyHour here? When are you guys coming to Louisville? How can I help you come to Louisville? What's going on? Like, I just started railing this guy with questions. Luckily, Neil answered my call at like 8 p.m. one night. And, you know, he told me that they were actually at an interesting time when they were considering new markets. So, you know, this was end of 2019, early 2020. You know, fast forward a couple months, I just kept on bugging him, kept on following up. And I said, look, if you guys don't launch this in Louisville for somehow, like, I'm going to find a way to do it on my own. Like, just give me a reason to come on the team and help you launch Louisville. So, yeah, we did just that in June 2020 amidst the pandemic. But luckily, we found some great partnerships in town, and we were able to actually get some traction, even though, you know, there were a couple of obstacles in our way.
So what did that look like from like a ownership perspective? Bringing in a guy that you've never like met face to face to basically launch your app in a different city.
Yeah. Well, I told Neil, I said, look, just let me do this for 90 days for free. Like, I'll just, you know, I just got laid off. I had a severance package. I got laid off because of the pandemic. I said, look, just give me 90 days. Let me launch Louisville. Just give me the tools, teach me how to do it. I'll launch it. And, you know, after that 90 days is up, then we'll talk about, you know, me getting basically a percentage of the company, which, you know, that's what we did. So
Awesome.
I just worked my butt off for him and proved that I can launch this city. And then from there, I mean, it was kind of a no-brainer for them, I would think.
Yeah, Tyler, one of the things I really liked about Mitch was his entrepreneurial efforts, like just from the get-go, like to get a cold call at 8 p.m. I still remember the call, actually. I was like, who's calling me from Louisville, Kentucky? You know? And so that stuck out to me, like someone who's willing to actually go out, do the cold call. And I said, hey, give me a call in a couple of weeks. Let's touch base and I'll keep you up to date with the progress. And he continued to do that. And I was like, this is the type of person we're looking for. And so he was able to build that kind of credibility and trust really quickly. And so when he said, hey, look, I want to launch this thing, give me 90 days. I said, all right, we've got nothing really to lose. And he's been this persistent, you know, entrepreneurial, spirited guy. So, you know, let's give it a shot. And we're really glad we did.
So take us into the future then. What do like the next 90 days look like for AppyHour? You know, 90 days, 6 months, a year.
Yeah, right now we're doing a kind of pre-seed investment round. So we're getting some money to gear up for a great quarter one, quarter two. And then we are currently onboarding customer accounts right now. So obviously the pandemic is still kind of lingering, but we're really preparing and planning and positioning ourselves to be, you know, the go-to source post-pandemic, and a great way for these bars and restaurants to continue to reach those consumers and drive traffic. So Louisville, ideally a big Louisville launch sometime quarter two.
Yep.
Is what everybody should be looking for.
Yeah.
Looking for. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we got some exciting stuff too on the tech side and supplier side as well. We want to, we got some big tech initiatives that are going to make the app only better for the users. We want to get more deals, more restaurants on the app, and Jake's helping us put together some cool tools for us to do that efficiently. And then, you know, for the supplier side of things, we're hoping to lock in a supplier here soon so we can start getting some cool partnership opportunities going, some co-branded events. You know, we've been talking about cocktail competitions, cocktail classes, some really cool stuff in the works. That'll be kind of fun events to help relaunch not only AppyHour, but relaunch going back out. We want to be part of that wave and part of that fun experience of people starting to go back out and enjoy doing things again.
So how do you, obviously users are extremely important, but also content's kind of important. Like, how do you guys manage that with, I mean, you got you three, and then you have an intern.
Yeah.
So basically a team of 4 trying to drive content to the app, but also get users. How do you guys juggle that? How do you manage that?
That's a great question. We learned this early on. You know, the problem is, you know, the chicken and egg, right? If there's no deals or content on the deal feed, there's no users. It's going to be really hard to get users, and vice versa. So what we've done is we pre-build these profiles on behalf of our customers, and upload a few of their specials that they're already promoting. And then what we do is we hand off that profile to those customer accounts so they can control that. And that's how the content on the feed is continuing to change and get updated. And then on the user side, of course, it's, the more bars and restaurants that Mitch was saying, the more likely consumers are to tell their friends about it and to get on board and to continue following it. So, it's a chicken and egg, but that's kind of how we've strategized, and it's been working really well for us. And our customers really are grateful to have it.
Yep. It's chicken and egg. And that's some of those tech initiatives I mentioned. That's going to help ease that process and make it quicker and more efficient for us to manage, to keep things up and then to keep it up to date. So it's always going to be a big focus for us. At the end of the day, every app change and every app update we make is going to be for the user experience, because without a user, we really don't have a business. And the numbers show, people seem to love the app here in Louisville. They've been waiting for something like this, and it's almost every day that someone says that I can't believe this hasn't existed already. So it always feels good to hear that.
Yeah, it's super beneficial. Like when I went to Dallas, Texas, of course I've had the app for a pretty good amount of time now. So I went to Dallas and everybody was like, what do you guys want to eat? And I was like, does anybody have any specials going on? And I was like, oh, let's pull up AppyHour. I was like, oh, man, you guys don't have AppyHour yet. So
Not yet.
once you start using it, it's super user friendly, and it's like extremely beneficial, especially for like lunches when you're at work. Like who's got the deals going on today, here for lunch, dinner, whatever. And it's a pretty quick and easy decision. It makes it so much easier, and it's like it makes the decision for you. So
well, what you just said is the goal. We want AppyHour to be the first thing that pops in people's minds when they think, where are we going? Because there's always that argument, or not argument, but that conversation with your friend, significant other, whoever, where it's like, where do you want to go tonight? I don't know. Where do you want to go tonight? So specials and promotions are an amazing way to have just a reason to go into a door to a new place. We found a stat a couple of weeks ago that 80% of people trying a new restaurant are trying that solely because there's a special or promotion going on. So to try out these new places in the town, especially like Louisville, where there's so many amazing options, it's less about actually saving money, but more so about driving traffic into the door for exciting special offers that make you feel like you're getting some exclusivity that you can only get on a Tuesday night or Friday night, whatever it is.
it's like the wings, the Wing It Challenge. You definitely want to go check out the restaurants that are knocking off $1. I mean, it's in the grand scheme of things, it's $1. Like it's not that big of a deal, but it's still a special.
Yeah.
It's something that they don't normally offer, and you got to try it out. So along with that, Neil, you're married, right?
I am, yes.
What does your spouse think about this? Like when you launched AppyHour, what did your spouse think? Like, oh my gosh, Neil's insane, or what was the response?
That's a great question. In the beginning, everybody kind of thought I was insane. They said the idea is great. Literally a quote from family members, hey, this idea is great, but you need to focus on your resume and you need to, start getting preparing to get a job. And the idea is great, but you're not going to be the one to make it. And so it really kind of lit a fire under my butt. Like, okay, my family, these people aren't going to be any help early on. So I'm going to really have to figure out how to do it on my own. So that was kind of the initial thing. So it didn't really matter what she was thinking. And I think, to an extent, as I do respect and love her opinion. Yeah, make me cut this out. Because I just knew it had to exist, and I felt like that the opportunity is now. And sometimes it takes a little bit of momentum and traction before you start to get the believers. And she's converted since then, and so is the family actually. But it just takes a lot of time to do that. Initially, a little bit crazy, but I think things are starting to pan out.
Yeah, or Mitch, what your family think? You have a girlfriend.
Yeah.
But of course, that's not like tying the knot like Neil has. So what'd your family think when you were like, yeah, I'm gonna go work for this AppyHour. I'm gonna work for Neil, who's in Minnesota. Don't know who he is, truly. But I believe in it. I'm going to do 90 days free. And then after that, hopefully get a percentage of the company. What they say to that?
Kind of their first reaction was, my parents are always going to be super supportive of what I do. My dad, especially, because he believes in me. And if I believe in something and come at him with like a fire under my butt, just like Neil, he fully supported me. He said, go for it. Like, this is what you want to do. My mom was like, okay, you're going to do this. And what else? So she thought I wasn't finished talking. She's like, okay, now like, what else are you going to do? And then, my grandparents, I'm lucky enough to still have two grandparents. Both of them were like, well, you got to get a real job type stuff. And I was kind of like, grandma, grandpa, it's okay. I'll figure this out. Like, but no, all in all, like super supportive. Same with Andrea, with my girlfriend. I told her when we first started dating, I said, look, because it was just about the time I was starting to get burnt out with the corporate job. I told her, I said, look, and we met at work. So I told her, I said, I'm not going to be here very long. I got to get out of this. I got to do my own thing. I'm a very high risk, high reward type person. So you really got to put yourself out there if you want to enjoy a fulfilling life, because really that's what entrepreneurship is after. It's, everyone's after the money behind it. Sure. But I think what we're really after at its core is the ability to live a fulfilling life, do what you want, be able to wake up when you want, go to bed when you want. And I think I told you the quote I saw the other day, Tyler, and it was like, when you wake up and don't care whether it's a Wednesday or Saturday, that's when you're doing what you want to do. And I definitely get that feeling every day.
And along with that, I think you told me it's super awesome because you don't feel like it's a job, and you work on it in the morning, you work on it at night. It's just kind of like something that you're in love with, which is awesome. I'm sure Neil's excited to hear that too. And he's working 20 hours a day, keeping up with the business. Next, I want to switch over or transition into the Louisville food scene. How has moving from Minneapolis to Louisville, launching the app in Louisville, what are you seeing in terms of numbers, responses with the city?
Well, I'd like to just start with the response has been phenomenal. So we launched, the Twin Cities kind of did a soft beta launch, and then of course COVID hit, and then there's protests and a lot of uncertainty in the market. And so that was when Mitch came along and we added him onto the team, and he launched Louisville. And he had always sold me on the value of the Louisville market and how amazing it really is. And so when we did launch there, to actually see the community come together and kind of come around it, and having great partners like you and City Dining Club, like, it's been amazing. I haven't seen a better food community than I have in Louisville. And so, like, again, when I came to visit, it was just so obvious to me that AppyHour, it felt like almost like a perfect home for AppyHour. And so from a community standpoint, I can't imagine a better location to really kick this thing off.
Yeah. And from a numbers perspective, I mean, we've been in Louisville since June. So we've been in Louisville for 6-7 months now. It's been in Iowa City since 2017. So and that was, inception, birth, and testing, growing. So, but it's been there a lot longer in Minneapolis for what now, 2 years, Neil?
Yeah, 2-ish, yeah.
So since June, Louisville has made up, well, and now at our active users, they make up between 35 and 40% of our monthly active users, only being here like 7 months. So it shows that the people are accepting it very quickly. And I mean, there's no better market for this. I told Neil right on our first call, there's no better market than Louisville. There's no competition app-wise, and the food scene's perfect. I mean, it's the Silicon Valley of chefs here, and then also the bourbon capital of the world. So it's a nightlife destination. It's a semi-tourist town. Yeah, it's just a perfect recipe for kind of a mainstay market for us.
The city loves their restaurants and their local foodie scene. When our group exploded to 15.7 thousand members in what is it, 8 months or so that we've been around. So the people in the city love their dining, takeout. They just love the food scene here. Sure. Neil, has Mitch ever been like, "I told you so," or like?
Yeah, but I think once this summer that I'm hoping he says that, but he did tell me so, and I think he was right about it. I can't. There's no denying the fact that Louisville's just a great spot for all the reasons Mitch said, and then the community, the bourbon scene. And then it's also close to some amazing cities that we could go to next. So yeah, he did tell me so. Yeah, that'd be a fair statement.
Speaking of moving to different cities, where do you guys plan on moving forward to next, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah. Right now, focus Louisville. We really want to make sure that we are there and we put our flag in the dirt, and continue to help the scene there and grow. And then after that, what we're really doing, it's really exciting on the supplier side, is we help them launch brands direct to consumer, as well as help their on-premise accounts better sell their products. So when we start engaging with these suppliers, our goal is to identify market opportunities that they're going after, and then leveraging, their push into that market as a way for us to activate their brands and AppyHour. So a lot of it will be directed by supplier and partner relationships.
Yeah. For example, like Saltwater Woody, we partnered up with them and work with them. They're growing extremely fast. They're launching in this Q1. They're launching, I think, 3 or 4 new states. So, if we could if we were to launch a new market with them, essentially, we'd be able to both go into. They're doing Ohio, so we could both go into Cincinnati, kind of do some cool co-branding marketing and events within that space, and obviously help each other with kind of the sales enablement going into new locations and helping lock in new customers. So it's going to depend a lot on our partnerships for sure on the new city launches. But it was a big reason why we picked Louisville. Its location to Indianapolis, Cincinnati, Nashville, and just overall central location in America. And I mean, being able to branch out from any city from here is going to be super easy. So, but we'll definitely focus on partnerships for this foreseeable future. Yeah.
So obviously you need restaurants, but you're looking for distributors more so now.
Yeah, if so, we're working with suppliers, and then the distributor gets value out of that in terms of the brand awareness that we help grow, and the sales and reorders that end up being generated. But our primary customer on that front is going to be the suppliers.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you're a bourbon brand and you're launching a new aged whiskey or bourbon, if you're a beer brand and you're launching a new seasonal, like, we want to work with you, you can reach out to me, Neil, at appyhourmobile.com, or Mitch at appyhourmobile.com, and we can discuss some really exciting things that we have planned and what we can do for brands.
Yep.
And then, of course, you still want restaurants and stuff. Same thing, just email you restaurants that need to sign up.
Yeah.
What options are there? I know you have like a free version of AppyHour, and then talk a little bit more about like the more premium or the paid options that restaurants can utilize with the app, and what all they receive.
Yeah, so that they can go on and claim their profile for free to get some baseline versions to dip their toes in AppyHour. And then we're also doing a 90-day free trial of our premium version. So, with the premium version of AppyHour, you would actually get 3 notifications a month that they can send out to everyone around town that you have full control over sending, which is super awesome for them. And then they get full access to put up as many specials events as they need throughout the week. And then we also have a data analytics dashboard on our website that they have access to, so they can see how people are interacting with their specials. They can go back and gauge, what's working, what's not, improve their specials and events. Because like we said earlier, like 80% of people trying new restaurants do it because of a deal or promotion. So bars and restaurants aren't doing this because it's some legacy thing, because they think they have to do happy hours. They're doing it because it drives traffic. There's statistics on it. So we want to make sure the data dashboard right now, it works, it looks great, but it's going to continue to improve as we get more data and more developers to help with it. But what we really want to do is help these bars, restaurants make informed decisions off their happy hours and specials, which they've never had before. I mean, you can't measure the ROI on a chalkboard out in the front of your bar or restaurant. So that's a huge value add for them. And of course, the notifications as well. I mean, being able to send out something and notify everyone around town that, hey, tonight, they really want to tap out this Guinness on their draft lines tonight. They're tired of it sitting there. So you send out a $3 Guinness night notification right there, and boom, that tap's gone for the night, and you can replace it. So,
you mentioned within that statement that you're looking for more developers. I have no idea if there's like different types of developers or what all is involved with developers. But if somebody is listening to this and they are a developer looking for a new position, what are there like different skill sets that developers have to have that you're looking for?
Yeah, so our tech stack was all built by Jake, and so he's done a phenomenal job. And if like the entire development pipeline, you've got like your back end, which is like your hosting, your data, retrieval services. You've got your storage, so where you actually host your data, and then you've got the front end, which is the mobile app and how that all connects. And then you've got the user interface, and which is the actual buttons, the layout, the design of that. And then of course there's the web portal and platform, so that's a web developer. So any of those skill sets is something that we're looking for, especially as we're going into the more robust data pipeline that we're building out. Data scientists are extremely valuable too. But AWS is a platform we're working on. We just switched over, and Mitch, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe we're on React Native.
Yep.
Which is our framework for the mobile app development, and then web developers. So anybody that has web development experience is valued as well.
Yeah, and as far as knowledge goes, it's really broken down by language, Tyler. So like it depends on, and this we're getting a little technical here, but everything's written in. Do you know what is written in, Neil, by any chance?
I mean, they're all kind of frameworks off of different languages. So React Native is, I believe, the language that we're using, but it's more of a framework than its own specific language.
Yeah.
And then our database is SQL.
Yeah. Essentially, Jake told us, there's two parts of his job, and part of it is logic, the other part is design, and he likes the logic side of it more. So we feel like the next person we'll hire on as a developer will be more design focused, and then because Jake he loves the logic, he loves making sure everything works on the back end. And then that next person will just be able to help him a little bit more on the front end, kind of design work.
By the way, I checked out your website. Once you relaunched, that thing is sick. I love it.
Tyler, you have no idea how long that took us trying to figure it out, because we wanted Jake focusing on the app and like the technology. So Mitch and I were like sitting there trying to figure out how to put together a website, and I'm glad you like it. Everybody check it out. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it.
Yeah, for sure.
Last thing I want to talk about is Wing It Challenge. What are these challenges? What do these events do for an app like yours?
They do. You can start off, Mitch. Let's go for it.
Yeah, sure. I think the main thing it does is it shows the reason the app exists. Because, we always had the Burger Week, right? It's a standout for me in Louisville. The Burger Week's been going on for like, 5-6 years, probably longer.
Yeah.
And you went and you got your passport. And that's how you knew what was going on. You had your passport, you either printed it out or saved it on your phone to see what was going on. But if something changes, like then your passport's wrong, it's not up to date. I think it just shows the value prop of the app, right? It just shows that there's events and specials going on near you, and we're the singular source to find all of that. So it's a really easy way for us to go back to our users and say, or to our audience, which could be social media, and say, guys, look, download AppyHour. Like we're showing you these awesome deals, these fun events. It's super easy to use. It's a free download. You don't lose anything by installing the app and just looking to see what's going on, because everyone's got to eat. Everyone likes to have a good time. So we're just helping you do that,
And to add on to that, the things like Wing It Week, Chili Week that we did, Nacho Week, which I ate so many nachos and loved it. It really gets the community involved. A lot of community engagement. That's really what we're all about, is like connecting these local places to people that are looking, right, and the right audience. So the community engagement effort is fantastic, and things like this really help with that. And then touching to Mitch's point is, the promotional flexibility that these places now have to be able to participate not only in these like cool ideas, but actually like to get it in front of the right consumers has never been, achievable before. You used to run these things, post on Instagram, and then they would show up on your feed 2 days later and the thing's already over. Now it's just that real-time, immediate, instant outreach to the right consumers with the right offers. And getting that community engagement with things like Wing It Week, Nacho Week, and all of that is a huge benefit to customers and consumers. And we're pumped about it. I can't wait for the next one. I'm really excited. I need to come down. I'm planning on coming down for the next one. So whenever that happens, we'll be there.
Hey, whenever you're planning your move to actually move to Louisville, I'll make sure that we have an event that same week. So not only stress to move, but you're going to be flooded with all this responsibility with the app. But to kind of piggyback on what you were saying, not only does it get that content to the correct consumer immediately, but another piece of that is now these restaurants that only had followers and didn't pay for, paid advertisement sponsorships, they're now getting exposure to exactly who they want to get to visit their restaurant. Yeah. And how many times have you only visited a restaurant once? Like once you go there, if you like it, you always return, tell your friends. It's kind of like with your app, it's like 30% of the people that are referred to the app will actually download it. So making sure all of your users are taken care of and enjoy their experience, that's most important. Yeah. But yeah, it just gives another platform for restaurants to use that are just looking for their target audience. That's kind of why City Dining Club is fairly successful for the most part, is that restaurants are now able to reach these people that really want to help restaurants during the pandemic, and they don't have to pay for paid advertisement via like Facebook, Instagram, whatever else that they want to use. It's all just taken care of in one single place. People get exposed to it enough times, and then they actually go visit the restaurant. So it's kind of how we're similar in one way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we've got a lot of similarities, and we absolutely are stoked about the partnership and to see what's going to come in 2021. Hopefully everything starts opening back up, and this spring and summer is just an absolute blast. That's what we're planning on. So.
Yep.
Speaking of dates, Circa Day 2024, is that rap album still dropping?
You guys are going to have to be on the lookout for that. But yeah, there may be some type of rap album in the works. We'll see. First, we got to take care of the business, make sure our customers and users are happy, and then if everybody wants a rap album, we can't let the fans down.
Can't let them down.
Speaking of like hypothetical stuff, last question. Happily Ever After, is that going to be happening?
There's spin-offs. We're looking, we're consumer feedback. What do you want to see in the app? How could we make it better? How can we make the experience more enriching? And how can we continue to connect people? I mean, if Happily Ever After is something people want, we're definitely, happy to look into it. But yeah, the idea is still kind of like, it's a dumb idea kind of, but it could work. Who knows? Let's hear what the users say. Happily Ever After.
I guess I'll let you dive into it a little bit more, but Happily Ever After is essentially going to be the Tinder portion of Happy Hour. After you have your happy hour drinks, you can it'll transform into Happily Ever After, right?
Well, there's actually some interesting ideas that, it's all fun and games. We joke about it, but then, as we think deeper, it's like, okay, what are people really asking for? They're asking for a social component. You guys helped us do that survey on app feedback. And actually, we got a handful of people say that they would really like some sort of social component within the app. So it's something we talk about. It's something that's in our product development pipeline. So yeah, drop a comment if you think like what kind of social component do you guys want in the app? We build this app for the users, for you guys. So Happily Ever After was an idea. I think it was by Neil's dad, who said after hours, why not have a matchmaking service on AppyHour so you can see who at the bar who's looking for to date or whatever. I don't know. It started as a joke, but now it's like, okay, what kind of social components can we add? Can we share specials? Can we, we want to be a positive app, just like City Dining Club. There's never going to be reviews on AppyHour because people are 90 times more likely to write a bad review. But you can always recommend things. That's a positive thing. We want all positivity. So there will be somewhere down in the product development pipeline, some sort of social component that we'll throw into the app for sure. It may not be a matchmaking service, but we'll see.
Well, guys, I appreciate your time. If you have anything extra you want to throw out there, feel free.
Yeah, one thing, everybody get your AppyHour download. It's AppyHour, one word, iOS and Android. Free download, no login required. We want your feedback, so please feel free to reach out to myself, Mitch, Tyler. Let us know what you think of the app and what we can do to continue to improve it. We've got, like Mitch was saying, we've got a great pipeline in the works, but we're only building what consumers are asking for, so let us know what you want. And then, yeah, that's it.
Can people buy these? Are they available?
If you do want a sweatshirt, we're looking into kind of taking some orders. So that's something, and I was thinking, and we'll send some more details over, but if we were to do a sweatshirt sale, that all proceeds would go back into CDC. So we want to put something together. Let's see in the comments as well if you would like a sweatshirt, or, you know, let's gauge demand, but definitely we could get people suited up.
If you're absolutely itching for one, just DM me. We'll figure something out.
Cool. Well, guys, I thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for sponsoring the Wing It Challenge. Without sponsorships, of course, restaurants, they have to, kind of dive into their own pockets to provide some sort of gift card, some sort of call to action. And corporate partners like you guys are extremely beneficial, not only to help us run a clean week, but to also keep extra dollars in those restaurants' pockets. So I thank you for being a sponsor once again. I appreciate it.
Yeah, we're really happy to be it. So
Yep.
And last thing too, if you've got any customer accounts, bars or restaurants, if you're listening, please reach out to us. We're going to get you set up for free. We'll get you on the 90-day full access free trial, no commitment required. We just want to help you get familiar with our tools and drive some traffic, sell some more beer.
Sweet. Appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tyler.
Tyler, we'll talk soon. Thank you.
Thanks.